warm because it's like really cold out there. So take a look. That's what we got going on. It is snowing here in Korea. The roads are getting bad. It's not a good thing uh, to be stuck on the roads here in Korea. Uh, Korean drivers a lot better than what they used to be when I was here the first time in like 1988. That was absolutely crazy. Hope you don't mind. I'm going to eat at the same time while I do this update. But yeah, winter weather, freezing cold, and thank God I'm retired. So, some of the updates that we have going on is, let's see, what's the first one? Mm, 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 mhm, 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 mhm. We have chicken, wild rice, corn, and that's part of my meal prep. But today, what we ended up doing is we wanted to refill our prescriptions, and we had a doctor in the United States. We got like 90-day supply worth of meds or close to it. And so the majority of our medicines we're good on, but we needed to start that process to get medications issued here in Korea. So since we don't have a doctor, we can go to the emergency room at Camp Humphreys for emergencies, but we can't see like a regular doctor, a PCM, to get our prescriptions. So we have to use a local area hospital, and that's going to be Good Morning Hospital in Pyeongtaek, which is 20 minutes away or whatever, 15 minutes away. And then the Korean medical system is way different than the United States. So give you a little bit of update on that. It ends up that in the United States, in our experience, is that you have your insurance, whatever it is, mine's TRICARE. You would look on the network, you would find a doctor, and that doctor would be your PCM or primary care manager, whether it was a doctor, PA, or a nurse practitioner, or whatever it is. And then if you felt bad or you needed whatever, you would go to that doctor. And unless it was really bad, you could get prescriptions filled. So I could get like my mental health meds issued to me and get refills and all that stuff. Hey, this isn't working good. Let me try something else. Okay, try this, blah, blah, blah. So it was all done through my PCM. Pain medication, same thing. Here's my records. We know what's going on. This is what's been ongoing. So I need this drug, this, and this. Doctor makes some recommendations, of chronic pain, blah, 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 radiculopathy in both legs and back and whatever. But for any type of medication like that, getting refills is easy. See the doc, boom, you're good to go. And for the most part, what was great about living in Oahu and is that we could message our doctor, our PCM, and say, hey, I need some refills on this, or this. And usually the doc would just put in the order. So the only thing we had to do is go to the pharmacy, boom, pick up our meds, and we're good to go. Here in Korea, it is a lot different. So we had to register for our TRICARE Overseas Select. So we went to the Good Morning Hospital in Pyeongtaek. Busy as all get out. The inside reminded me of a marketplace. There was just so many people going to and fro and so on and so forth. Very different than the layout that you normally see in a hospital. You go to a clinic, you see that person there, you make the appointment, or hey, I'm here for my appointment or whatever. But here is different. If I want to get my prescription or get a refill for my prescription, I have to make an appointment with that specialty. So in other words, I had to go see behavioral health. I need to see behavioral health specialists, psychologists, or psychiatrists, and they will look at my records and blah, 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 and we'll talk and whatever. And then they will give me a prescription for those drugs. Now, the drugs for pain management, because I'm in chronic pain, I need to go make another appointment with the neurologist or whatever, pain management people, and go through the same thing. Got to see the doc, blah, here's what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And they will give me a prescription. There are stories and rumors that people who had been on prescription meds that forever and a day get over here, the doc cuts you off, and then the next thing you know, you have to start all over again. So we're talking about redoing tests, MRIs, x-rays, getting re-diagnosed under their system, even though you have records showing what the problems are. And you basically have to do everything all over again. And then they will give you your pain medication, and they'll try it, of course, at the lowest level, and then, so we're talking about redoing everything. Hopefully that's not the case. And then, I have some stomach problems, so I got to go see the gastrointestinal gastro unit and see that doctor specialist. It's kind of crazy. Very different than what it is in the United States. Very different. So what we ended up doing, my wife was able to get some medication that she absolutely needed to have. She was able to get an appointment today and see her doctor for that specialty. So we got her prescription, and we can get our prescriptions filled on the pharmacy at Camp Humphreys on base as being a military retiree. So that's awesome because we won't have to pay for that. We just take the prescriptions. They need one that's written in Korean and the same one that's written in English. Take both of those, turn those in, and they'll give us the meds. But again, we still have to go and make appointments. So the wife had to get more appointments. I had to get like 4 appointments, and at the Good Morning Hospital in Pyeongtaek, and to do it all in the same day, and that's going to be in January 16th. So yeah, that's going to be the kicker. And anytime you want refills, you have to go back and see the doctor. And with our military TRICARE overseas health insurance, copay is $50 each visit for each doctor. So if I go see gastro, if I see endocrinologist, if I see urology, if I see neuropathy or neurologist or whatever, I have to pay $50 for each one of those. So yeah, that's a little bit more than what we're paying in the United States for out of or the doctors there. Mainland, it ends up that I would go see different doctors, for whatever. And the copay was generally around $25, $30, $40. Here, it's $50. So, as for registering and doing everything, their system, now here's the good thing about it, is that it's close by. We'll see how the doctors are, so that'll be another video. But as far as like getting you in and getting you out, it's real efficient. We spend like maybe 5 minutes doing paperwork between my wife and I, hey, fill this out. Their system is connected up to TRICARE, so they submit the TRICARE paperwork for you. And for those of you who don't know, for military retirees, you have TRICARE military or TRICARE health insurance. And if you're overseas, you can get care, but you have to submit your paperwork to TRICARE, and then you get reimbursed later on. So the good thing is that this hospital they submit all the paperwork for you. So it takes a few steps out of the process, which is really good. So that's good. But again, it's like a marketplace. There's just people all over the place. The hospital itself is really, really nice. So, thumbs up there. But as far as like going and getting prescriptions filled and refills, that could be interesting to say the least. So we asked the registered nurse who was getting us into the system and doing the paperwork how long they can give prescriptions for, because in the United States it was like you get 90 days worth of medication, and then if you need refills, you get 2 or 3 refills or whatever. You just call and then you go pick up your meds. Here is going to be a little bit different. And since we're going to be taking those medications, those prescriptions, and getting them filled on post, we're hoping we can get more than 90 days. So maybe if we could do 6 months, then that would be awesome, because then we could just have to go to the hospital twice a year for those meds there. So we did that. So come 16 January, we're going to have a full day at the hospital, a full day. And I'm going to get some videos of that the next time we go, to kind of show you what goes on. We took a taxi to go there, for me and the wife. $8-9 is what it came out to be per trip. So it's not bad. You could take a bus, but it's going to take about a half hour, 40 minutes to get there, depending on which bus you take. So public transportation system is there, but you get to be our age, and it's like, you know what? It used to be exciting to get on buses, on public transportation, and go be like the locals. And now it's just like you're old enough, and you're like, I no, just taxi, taxi, car. Where's my car? I can't get a car yet. And people are asking me, how come I can't buy a car? Well, because we're kind of in that limbo stage. We could rent a car, and it's about $60 a day, $40 to $60 a day, somewhere around there. So there's that option, but we don't want to spend that kind of money because we don't really need a car. It's just a nice thing to have. But we can't buy a car until we get our R card, alien registration card. So it's once our visas get approved, we'll get a long-term stay visa, and we get an ID card. So that way we can open bank accounts. We can get real Korean telephone service, which we do have service, but it's only good for 90 days. So at the beginning of January, boom, our phone service is done. Because you have to have a long-term visa to get a longer contract on your phone. Because the phone service that we're using now, you have to use your passport number, since it's under a tourist visa, and you're only allowed to have so much phone service. So when we get our R card, once our visas get approved, which they got approved, the wife got a message saying that they're approved. Now we're just waiting for them to print the card out, and then the lawyer said that will probably be next week. So possibly tomorrow, I don't know. But with the weather the way it is, probably not. I'm guessing same with the lawyer, next week. And so we had to wait about a month, so that's about the right time. Then we'll go to Osan, we'll pick up our ID cards, and then we're here for long term. The wife's visa got approved, and it's in 3-year increments. So she can stay for 3 years. Of course, I'll be under her. Mine will probably be 3 years since we're married, I'm assuming. So we'll see how that works out. But then to renew, she just needs to go online, boom, fill in some information, make sure that we live in the same place. All the info is updated, and correct phone numbers and stuff. And then we're good to go. And then, so that's kind of what we're waiting on there. Another thing when we get our R card is we'll be able to buy property. So we could buy property on a tourist visa, but you need to go to Seoul, and you need to go to a couple different offices, and you cannot have your application for F4 or F1 visa submitted, because that automatically puts everything on hold. So until you find out the status of your F1 or F4 visa, you can't buy any property. But if we came over here on tourist visa, and we found, hey, this is a great apartment, we love it, and we want to buy it, we'd have to do multiple trips up to Seoul, get some special registration number, and then we could purchase the property. And then we could go into the property that way, then submit for our long-term visa. Because soon as you put in your long-term visa application, time stops. So some people were asking me, what happens if you're on a tourist visa, but it takes longer than 90 days to get the results or get your F1, F4 visa approved? What happens? Are they going to kick you out of Korea? That's the question we had. Well, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? So your tourist visa gets put on hold until the final word on your visa, your long-term visa, comes in. So you're just put on pause. So if it takes longer than 90 days, you don't have to worry about anything. So there's that. But once we do get our R card, then we'll be able to purchase property, we can purchase a car, we can get real Korean telephone service, a year contract or 2 year contract, unlimited service or whatever, and all of that. So, yeah, that's a lot of what's going on is we're just kind of waiting. So until then, we figured we get on the medical side of things since the medications are running a little low. So yeah, it's uh, it's interesting to say the least. Um, and that's with any country. If you go to some other foreign country, the way that they run their medical is always a little bit different than what you're used to. So this was like, why do I have to go see a specialist to get refills and have to make a separate appointment with each specialist to get refills on each of those medications? That just seems like a waste of time. Well, to us it is. In Korea, they want to make sure that the specialist sees you and they're responsible for your health. So that's the other side of the coin. So I kind of get that. I wish there was a blended system where they had like a PCM. You could volunteer to get a PCM and then go see specialists if you want to, but they don't have that. So that's kind of interesting. Um, but the good thing is, by seeing, if I want an appointment with, say, the neurologist, all I have to do is call the international office at the hospital, and they have English speaking staff. Hey, I need to see a neurologist for blah, 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 whatever it is. They'll make the appointment, what day is good for you, blah, blah, blah. These are the days. Excuse me. These are the days, these are the times. So I don't have to go see my PCM here in the United States. Let's say we're in the United States. I have to go see a PCM. So that's one appointment there. Then they have to do a referral to the specialist, the neurologist. So I go see them, and then I might have to get a third appointment, have 3 appointments to get something figured out or get the ball rolling or get medication or whatever. So, 2 or 3 appointments versus the one here in Korea if I want to see some kind of specialty, pain management, boom. I don't have to get a referral. That's automatic. So there's good and bad, pros and cons with each system. I just wish there was a blending of the 2 systems because that would be nice. Yeah, but it looks like you got to go to the hospitals. Hospitals are busy. Good Morning Hospital, we'll see how the doctors are. We'll do another video on that. Of course, that'll be January and kind of give an update on that. I've had some fellow retirees tell me that if you have something seriously wrong, then go to Seoul. Go to Samsung Hospital. And they actually have shuttle buses that every day that go from the front of Camp Humphreys walk-in gate. They drive up to Seoul, Samsung Hospital, and then you go to your appointment. I guess they sent, they bus you back or whatever. There's money to be made. So if you have something real serious, then you go up to Seoul, or if you don't mind the hour drive or trip up there. So there's that. And it'll just take some getting used to. The thing we want to try to do is at least get 30 days worth of medication and then, or 90 days worth of medication and then have to go see a refill. Maybe if we can push that to 4, 5, or 6 months so we can minimize the number of trips that we have to go to the hospital, that would be awesome. So, but unfortunately, I have to take a certain amount of medication for my disabilities and service-connected injuries and all of that stuff. So, yeah, it's good, but it sucks, and it sucks and it's good. So, yeah, we got that going on. Let's see what else. It's cold. Big storms coming in. Of course, it stopped snowing right now for a little bit. The weather is, let's see, what is the weather? It's 36 degrees. Let's see what for tomorrow. So tomorrow, high of 26, low of 15. Sunday and Monday is going to be like Sunday's going to be a high of 21, low of 9. Monday's going to be a low of 8, high of 28. So yeah, we're looking, and then after that, it kind of goes into the 30s, low 40s, and back into the 30s again. So yeah, the Korean weather is definitely cold. Good thing is being retired, we don't have to work out in the cold. So, we can just cuddle up and have a nice cup of coffee, and we go to the gym, and for the most part, we're really good. Vastly different than Oahu, because prior to coming here, we were in Oahu for a year that was constantly 85, 90 degrees, flip-flop shorts and tank tops. It's really amazing. We miss Oahu, that's for sure. But some of the things that happened to us in Oahu is that we chilled out immensely, because it's like we're retired, we're over there, we're staying, we didn't have to pay rent. And it was just like, hey, let's walk down to Waikiki, let's drive to Kailua, let's go here and try this beach. And hey, this is our napping beach. And we just go and put up the tent and just kind of lay and nap and fall asleep or whatever. Let's get coffee on Waikiki. And it just, the walkability was incredible. Walking without shoes was huge. And it actually resulted in me going up a shoe size. So I would wear size 11, 10 and a half or 11 when I was in the military, depending on, the boot maker, shoemaker. But after a year on Oahu, barefoot and flip-flops, my foot expanded out, and I wear a size 12 now. Yeah, I can't wear my size 11 shoes anymore because they're just too constricted. My feet were kind of like this. And then when I got to Hawaii, and then it's just kind of like spread out. And they're like, oh, we can finally relax after, 50 some odd years. So that's one of the things that happens when you live in Oahu. And of course, you get tanned, and if you're retired, then you just kind of, hey, bro, come on in, just cut through, go in. I don't care. I'm retired. Not much stress. If you are stressed, go to the ocean. We really, really enjoyed our year in Hawaii. That was just amazing. Saw whales, jumping out of the water, and did whale tours and did that. Would really love to do that again. But we'll see what happens. But here, this will give us a home base for people that don't know. We want to go back to Thailand. We want to go to the Philippines. We want to go to Bali. We want to go to Vietnam. I want to see the Great Wall. That would be kind of cool. Just see some different places around here, and travel. If we're retired, we might as well travel while we can. We're not stinking rich, but, we can take some trips and see some things and travel on the cheap, and, with the money that we can save here. It's hopefully, Lord willing, it's going to be good. People have asked, how much money are you saving? I got to make that video. I got to make the video on expenses. People have been asking me, well, how much is your rent? How much are utilities? What is electric? How much is gas? What is internet, cable TV? Is there any apartment fees that you have to pay? And yes, there is. And what's property taxes like on, the places that around there that you're looking at, which are all very good questions. And I'm going to do a video on that one of these days. I've got all the numbers. We got our bills in for a month of being in this place, and it's definitely a lot cheaper than where we were in Colorado. Ton cheaper than where we were on Oahu, that's for sure. Of course, I think any place is cheaper than Hawaii. But compared to Colorado, southern Colorado, Canyon City, Pueblo area, definitely it's a lot cheaper here than it is there. I will give a teaser. So, for example, this place here is a one-bedroom. I did a video, so you can look back and look at the video tour of this place. But it's a one-bedroom, big enough for a queen-size bed, decent little place. There's kind of a joint living room thing, with the TV, and then, back in that direction, you've got the bedroom and the bathroom and stuff like that. So that's not too bad. But with that, and so what I did is I looked at places where we used to live for like a one bedroom, same type of square footage, and you're going to pay $1,000, you know, for a decent place like this. You're going to pay $1,000 a month. This place is like 450, 475, somewhere around there, depending on the exchange rate. There are some other apartment fees and management fees and stuff like that. But there are some other things that are included in our apartment fee bill that is paid for, like internet, cable TV, stuff like that. Things that, internet in the United States, you're going to look at what, $75 minimum. Cable TV, add on another 50, $100 or whatever. What's your water bill, sewer, electricity? Electricity bill is huge, huge in the United States. And Oahu, definitely way huge there. But here in Korea, definitely a lot cheaper. So we're digging that aspect of it, but we're missing the beaches of Hawaii. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so I will get a video out on that one of these days. I just need to figure out how I want to do it, get some time, stop being lazy, and just do it. I have to do it probably on a weekend. We'll see what happens. Because I know people have been asking me about that. What are the utilities? Other people that are interested on coming to Korea, being maybe an English teacher, getting an e-visa, work visa, things like that, teaching English. People who want to retire, military retirees who have a Korean spouse and they want to do the same thing. How do we retire in Korea? So these videos will kind of help in that aspect, and especially the one with the expenses. So yeah, I really need to get that out and get back on the ball of generating content, of kind of our journey and what's going on. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's the update of us here in Korea. And maybe one of these days we'll get my wife on board to do a video so you can see her wonderful and beautiful face. She is definitely my better half. She puts up with so much crap. But she said after 33 years, I'm a keeper. So apparently I'm trainable to where I've met that standard of, okay, I'm going to keep him. So that's a gold star in the box right there for me. So that's good. She's awesome. So anyway, yeah, that's what we got going on. Don't forget to subscribe to The Varied Life. If you got anything out of this video, found out some new information or liked anything, please give a thumbs up on this video and that'll help. Gonna try to monetize this channel, and then that would be nice, and try to put out more content in the coming year. Definitely in the spring want to do some stuff. Haven't flown my drone here. That's the other thing I would like to do, but I can't do it right here because it's illegal to fly a drone within 5 kilometers of an airport, and Camp Humphreys I can see the runway, so I can't get any drone footage here. So I have to resort to other means. But other than that, that's what we got going on. Yeah, be sure to subscribe and we'll see what happens. If you have any ideas or questions, put them in the comment section down below, and maybe some ideas. And yeah, we'll be going through the process of looking at apartments that we're looking to buy, get some videos on that, make a video on that and what we're looking at in regards to price and amenities and so on and so forth. Apartments or villas. When I say apartment, for us in the United States, it's more like a condo. You can buy a condo or a unit out of a big apartment building. You own that unit. Well, that's what we have here in Korea. You can buy an apartment unit, and or you can buy a villa, because a villa is like 10 units or less, and then they also have duplexes and things like that, but not a lot of those are for sale. A lot of people have those, but once they have them, they keep them because they rent them out and they make good money. So yeah, it just, we kind of got a couple of apartment buildings that we're kind of focusing in on, but we're going to leave our options open if there's good deals in other areas or other places. And but yeah, we're going to get settled. Okay, that's it. Enough rambling. Take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. Peace. Good stuff.